One of the things I've been really mindful of, and something that we try to really promote through the health and wellbeing work that we've done in this trust, is actually to be kind and forgive each other. I read an article about crisis management and pandemics and stuff, and it said, forgiveness is a good quality. People will make mistakes under pressure, but let's accept it and work and learn from it and recover. Let's be kind to each other.
Talk, communicate is very important. And when your problems get more severe, so my idea would focus on resilience and mental well-being support. And then when that is not enough, find access to low-access digital interventions, for example, the unguided ones or the guided ones, but also have a good monitoring system at stake. Then when those type of interventions are not sufficient, that you can easily find a good referral to more intensive help.
It links to the idea of needing to have much more of an ongoing focus on staff health and well-being, and making sure that we are encouraging colleagues to notice things about themselves, and also for managers to understand and know what are the sorts of signs and symptoms of people who perhaps are really struggling and maybe experiencing what we might see as more post-traumatic stress responses, so that we can pick those up and offer staff the appropriate support and treatment for that.
We began to have conversations with clinical psychologists and began to get them on board to help create a safe environment for staff to have conversations about how they're feeling, and take them away from the ward and give them opportunity to have 5 minutes rest and just to pour their souls out, really. We set up what we call a wobble room. So if staff were feeling stressed, if they were feeling anxious, and after all, it's not just clinical, a lot of people had stresses in their private lives as well that they were trying very hard not to bring to work, but it's very difficult being human. They would take themselves off and they would have conversations with mental health liaison colleagues, clinical psychologists, and they would be given coping strategies. They would return to the ward after a period of a break and then hit the ground running again.
Y entre nosotros, aunque en el peor momento de la crisis no lo hacíamos, cuando todo esto pasó, hablamos y nos dimos cuenta de que todos teníamos los mismos síntomas. Pesadillas tuvimos todos. Al final, lo que a mí me pasaba se repetía en otros compañeros míos. Y lo hemos hablado entre nosotros, porque cuando tú piensas que estás solo en algo, resulta que lo hablas con tus compañeros y están igual que tú. Y bueno, yo pues siempre he sido una persona muy segura y siempre he confiado mucho en mí, y además creo que lo que me ha pasado es algo normal, y que cualquier persona que hubiese vivido lo que yo he vivido, pues estaría parecido. No me parece que consultar ahora con una psicóloga o que pedir ayuda o que hablar de lo mal que lo he pasado sea algo que me haga ser más débil. Al contrario, creo que es algo que me hace ser más fuerte y que es algo que la gente tiene que saber cómo lo hemos pasado.
If people feel connected with others, if they feel well supported by their peers, if they feel well supported by their leaders, that actually, although things might be very difficult, they get through psychologically in the main, without too much damage. And I think that's one of the things we've been really trying to promote, is how do we bring teams together so that people can support each other mutually, and actually, that being an important thread going forward as well. So how can we make sure that after the pandemic, teams are still connecting really positively, they're still spending time talking with each other, they're still spending time looking after each other in order to look after the patients that we serve.
What works well for a pandemic works really well for the day-to-day business of a busy health and social care organisation, our staff deal with traumatic and difficult events every day on a human and clinical level, completely outside of COVID. And what we've learned is that this approach is worthwhile and worth investing in, because, again, it goes without saying, any organisation is only as good as its people. To be able to keep your people at work and in a place where they feel happy and comfortable to keep doing their job to a high standard is got to be the top focus in any health and social care organisation. And how it pays you back is that your patients get good care because your staff are able to care for them.
If anything positive in terms of support for staff has come out of the pandemic is that it has really highlighted the need for good health and wellbeing support for health workers. I mean, it's a shame that it's taken the pandemic to remind us of this, but I think that is what's happened.
COVID is almost like an amplifier. You know, it amplifies emotion and experiences by X percentage. You know, the ever-present risk of, serious ill health or death is there. So you become very, very mindful of how fragile our situations really are in reality.
Bueno, hay momentos, sí. Hay momentos concretos que me marcaron más y que los tengo ahí presentes más veces, sí. Quizá no ha pasado el suficiente tiempo para que os los cuente. De momento eso me lo guardo.